In this video, I'm going to do a full price breakdown of my cargo trailer to off-grid/off-road camper conversion. Big hoof marks. Probably from a moose. Looking for firewood. Dry wood.
Echo says I can't work.
She's the worst procrastinator, eh?
Echo, I'm serious right now. Oh.
She's like literally laying on top of you.
Why? She's sitting in my lap.
50-pound freaking Australian Shepherd thinks she's a lap dog.
50-pound procrastinator.
Yeah.
Get away.
Mommy's gotta chop some firewood. Kindling. Fire is always in the preparation. Ah, of course. The wind's right in my face.
I know, but it's so nice.
Lunch by the lake. Think it's gonna be a good summer?
I think so. Oh, flavor's going on.
So at the beginning of this build, I set myself a budget of $10,000. Not knowing much about what I was getting myself into, I figured that would be a nice tight number to work within. Everyone in the US, I'm not sure what the conversion is, but the dollar's on your side. Yeah. I kept track of every nut and bolt and every penny spent on this build. I will leave a link in the description for everything that I purchased. At an overall level, you can actually look at the entire build in thirds. And so the first third would be the sort of startup cost, the cost of the trailer itself, registration, and all those other components. The second third would be electrical components if you're doing off-grid. And the third and last would be the building supplies, the materials, the finishes, and all that. So that's sort of what I took away from this overall breakdown. So starting at the top, I bought this 5x8 cargo trailer secondhand for $3,000. This is a 2019 United XLE 5x8 cargo trailer. The registration, getting plates, and getting ownership into my name was $137. And then I opted to install some off-road wheels. Obviously that is optional. I decided to install these because they are a redundant matching set to my truck, so that if I am ever out in a remote area and I have a tire blowout, for example, I have a spare that can work on either the trailer or the truck. And then I decided to refinish these wheels, so there was $100 in paint and supplies there. That total was around 35% of the overall budget. Next is the waterproofing and envelope upgrades. And so obviously cargo trailers aren't meant to be inhabited, so there's some very obvious waterproofing, lacking details, and some other things that campers sort of require. Involves installing an RV door latch, a roof vent, window, sealant, and some lumber and other hardware, screws and self-tappers and whatnot. That overall cost was $800, and that accounted for 7% of the total build cost. I wanted to use this trailer in 4 seasons, so I opted to install insulation in this trailer. The insulation and rough framing to do so was $663.49. That accounted for 6% of the total build cost. Moving on to finishes, that cost was 11% of the total build cost of $1,171. The price of wood is really high right now, and so I was really struck by the price of plywood, for example, being $267 for a couple sheets of plywood. Hardware for all the millwork and furniture inside this trailer cost me around $200. That definitely caught me off guard a little bit, so just make sure to account for that. Now the big component, and what accounted for roughly 30% of the entire build cost, was the electrical. The most expensive part of the build was a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. That came into a cost of $1,124.35. Second component coming in was the inverter charger, coming in at $649. I listed every single component that I bought, every single bus bar, connection, terminal, the wires and the receptacles and electrical boxes and little hardware for that definitely added up as well. For the heater, I bought a diesel air heater from Amazon. That came in at $285. And then there were some other little components that I bought to install, trailer storage box, and some custom ducking and the fuel to actually run this thing. Because I installed larger off-road wheels, I had to custom fabricate some fenders. I didn't have the equipment and really the skills to do so, so I reached out to a third party to make them. These came in a little bit over my budget, but they're super sturdy. I'm sitting on them right now, and I am able to mount gear to this, and I'm super happy with the outcome. The fabrication itself was $650, including the material. But the total cost for the fenders themselves, just under $800, including the supplies to paint and the bolts to attach it to the trailer. Put in a section for safety. This I did not want to skimp out on, and so that included the sort of purchase of a fire extinguisher, carbon monoxide and smoke detector, as well as a hitch lock, some stabilizing jacks, and a puck lock. Or no, the puck lock actually came with the trailer. Yeah. So the total cost of this build was $10,970. So I went roughly $970 over budget, but I sold the stock trailer wheels and fenders for $250. So my grand total was $10,720. So at the end of the day, I was $720.32 over budget, but some of the things that I didn't account for definitely are the reason why I went a little bit over budget. Super happy with the outcome of the trailer. Oh, you're gonna make me taste it? It will suffice. Are you an os? Are you an os, Echo? Much needed upgrade.